Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you may be on this quiet night here in Lake Zurich, Illinois. Uh, yeah, pretty interesting day we've had, huh? But I digress. Today, we're starting a new series on the baseball show. We're doing Pitcher of the Day. Of course, my favorite position being pitcher. It is my position. We're going to talk about some pitchers. Every day we're going to talk about a pitcher, maybe position player, but we are going to talk about pitcher every day. And today, I decided to start off with a Hall of Famer. So today, we are starting off with Mr. Randy Johnson. If you're a baseball fan, you know who Randy Johnson is. If you're not a baseball fan, you don't know who Randy Johnson is, I'll give you a little bit of a background here on Randy Johnson. Randy Johnson, also known as the Big Unit. Now, why is he known as the Big Unit, you might ask? Well, he's 6 foot 10 inches tall. He's about 7 feet. He is a monster. He's absolutely gigantic, and he's one of the best of all time. He is a left-hander. He bats right, throws left, so there's something interesting. He is a Hall of Famer in the National Baseball Hall of Fame. He is a 5-time Cy Young Award winner, a 10-time All-Star World Series MVP. He's won the pitching Triple Crown. He is a 2001 World Series champion, and he has a 4 times ERA title. His numbers were as follows: 57, 51 with the Expos, another 51 with a team that I'm not familiar with those colors, 34 and 51 for the Mariners, another 51 there, 51 and 41 for the Yankees, 51 for the Diamondbacks, and then 51 for the San Francisco Giants. I'm sorry, that other 51 was for the Houston Astros, my bad. So he has played for 6 teams in his career. A little bit of his career slash. A 101.1 wins above replacement, which is absolutely outstanding. 303 career wins and 166 career losses. A career of 3.29 ERA, very, very solid. He played 618 games, started 603 of them, saved 2 of them, threw 4,135 and a third innings, 4,875 career strikeouts, 4,875 career strikeouts, and 1.171 whip or walks plus hits over innings to pitch. So he had about a 20-year career. He was with Seattle Mariners for 10 years, Arizona Diamondbacks for 8 years, Montreal Expos for 2 years, Yankees for 2 years, Giants for 1 year, and the Houston Astros for 1 year. He spent an even 12 years in the AL and even 12 years in the National League. So his debut year was 1988, and he retired in 2009. A very, very long, respectable career. I just want to go over a few things. So he had 5 Cy Young seasons, and 4 of them were back-to-back-to-back-to-back Cy Young awards. So he won 4 Cy Youngs in a row while he was in Arizona. So that's where he won 4 of his Cy Young awards. He won 1 in Seattle. And that's it. He won 5 Cy Youngs, so he won 1 in Seattle and 4 in Arizona. Randy Johnson also has 2 career no-hitters, 1 career perfect game. So he's just an absolutely outstanding pitcher. He finished as Cy Young runner-up 3 times. He finished in third place for Cy Youngs only once, and he only finished Cy Young seventh one time. He never won MVP. The closest he got to was sixth place MVP when he was 1995 with Seattle. He threw a perfect game and a no-hitter as an Arizona Diamondback, and just a no-hitter as a Seattle Mariner. But what's so cool about that is that was the first no-hitter in Seattle Mariners history. Was his no-hitter, so that's kind of cool. So, though Randy Johnson was pretty awesome, he was never perfect. He started out pretty rough, actually. 1988, he only pitched 4 games that year, but he had a 2.42 ERA, so he seemed pretty good. And then he ended up having a few rough years after that. He had a 4.82 ERA in 1989, 6.67 ERA in 1989, 4.40 as well, and then he just went on, dominance. He went from 1990, he had a 3.65 ERA in a span of 5 years. He took that 3.65 all the way down to a 2.48. And as I said, 1995 was his first Cy Young Award. And that was also his first ERA title and win-to-loss title. He won 18 games and only lost 2. He lost 2 games that year. 1995, he pitched 30 games. So he got hit with 10 no decisions, but he only lost 2 out of 30 games pitched. Only 2 times he got the loss out of 30 games. Insane. As well, he's had some phenomenal years. As we just talked about, his run in Arizona was absolutely incredible. 4 consecutive Cy Young years. All those years were sub-2 ERAs, 2.48, 2.64, 2.49, 2.32. Absolutely insane. And then he had a little bit of a rough year in 2003. 2004, he was back to normal, and then he got dealt to the Yankees at the trade deadline due to the Diamondbacks having to make some payroll cuts. And then he chose to go back to Arizona after 2 years, and then he finished his career as a San Francisco Giant. He's one of the greatest of all time. One thing that he's really, really known for is his personality. This guy was mean. And, when I say mean, I can mean a few things. Different things. When I say this guy was mean, I mean he was mean. He was completely intimidating. He was angry when he was on the mound. He was so intimidating. He was scary to face. He was that intimidating. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So he was absolutely terrifying. And not to mention, 6'10" tall, absolutely insane. Okay, this guy was one of the best of all time. And for a left-handed pitcher, we don't often talk about left-handed pitchers as one of the greatest of all time. This guy is probably the greatest left-handed pitcher to ever exist. Like I said, he almost had 5,000 career strikeouts. He only needed 225 more. But then again, that probably would have been another full season, maybe 2, if he even had that left in him. Because, in 2009, he only struck out 86. So, it probably would have taken him a while to get another, 225 strikeouts. So, he had a phenomenal career. I mean, he really, really did. He was absolutely insane. Just incredible. One of my favorite stats to look at is home runs per 9 innings. Now what that measures is home runs hit off a certain pitcher for a full 9 innings pitched. And Randy Johnson never in his career had home runs per 9 innings over 2. The highest he ever got was the highest that he ever got in his career was 1.8. That was the highest home runs per 9 he ever allowed. 1.8. His lowest was 0.4. That's insane. Virtually no home runs he allowed. That .4 season was 1998, when he was traded midway through the season to Houston. And, his stretch in Houston was probably the best stretch he ever had in his career. Because he went 10-1 with a 1.28 ERA. Yeah. In Houston, he went 10-1 with a 1.28 ERA. That's the most dominant Randy Johnson of all time. He pitched 11 games. He only lost one of them. It's over a 900 winning percentage. Most pitchers can only dream of that. You know how many times Nolan Ryan had that? I actually don't know. We'll talk about Nolan Ryan some other time. But yeah, Randy Johnson, just one of the greatest of all time. I mean, there's no way you can't talk about the greatest pitchers of all time without putting Randy Johnson in that category. Because he is just unreal. Some fun facts. He was originally drafted by the Atlanta Braves in the 4th round of the 1982 MLB June Amateur Draft from Livermore High School. But then he ended up 3 years later going to college and getting drafted by the Expos in the 2nd round in the 1985 draft out of the University of Southern California, so USC. He debuted September 15th, 1988, and his last game was October 4, 2009. So, again, a 21-year career. Absolutely insane. Not too many people can say that. His last game, his first game he was 25, his last game he was 46. His last game, he pitched a full inning, allowed 1 hit, struck out 2, didn't earn a run, didn't allow a walk. So, absolutely insane. He's just incredible, and he's only had one nickname. That is the Big Unit. Another fun fact, Randy Johnson now spends his days photographing. Doing photography. So, you can find some Randy Johnson photography. He's usually lying around rock concerts and NFL games. You can find him doing NFL stuff. And Randy Johnson today is very different than Randy Johnson of the 1990s. He's gone from being a terrifying presence on the mound to a happy, peaceful, joyful man. Randy Johnson is absolutely insane. He's crazy. And he's just one of the greatest of all time. So yeah, Randy Johnson, the best left-handed pitcher of all time, in my opinion. I'm sorry, he just is. He's the greatest. So, thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Baseball Show Pitcher Edition. And tomorrow we'll be talking about another pitcher. I know, that's insane. So, this video will be going up on Instagram and YouTube, so please feel free to check them out. Social media is, of course, YouTube, and since this will be posted on my Instagram, my Instagram is cshingothi04, if you want to go follow me there. So, that's it for me. That's all I got to say tonight. Randy Johnson, best left-handed pitcher of all time. Big Unit. Alright, take care, you guys. Stay safe out there. Peace.